What would happen if you were locked away from the rest of the world, with no clocks, no sunlight, and no way to tell what time it was? Would your body still know when to sleep and when to wake? This isn't a hypothetical question. A French scientist named Michel Siffre decided to find out by living alone in a dark, cold cave for months at a time, completely cut off from all external time cues. His experiments would reveal something astonishing about the hidden rhythms that govern our lives. The year was 1962, and a young Michel Siffre descended into the icy depths of the Scaricen Abyss, a glacier cave in the French Alps. He set up a small camp with a tent, a bed, a chair, and a table, all perched on the damp, frozen ground. His only connection to the outside world was a single field telephone. A team of researchers on the surface would monitor his vital signs, but they were strictly forbidden from giving him any information about the time or date. Siffre's goal was simple, yet profound. He wanted to see what would happen to the human body's natural sleep-wake cycle, known as the circadian rhythm, when it was completely detached from the 24-hour rotation of the Earth. He had no clock, no calendar, and no sunlight to guide him. His only markers for time were his own internal urges. He would eat when he felt hungry, sleep when he felt tired, and call his team on the surface every time he woke up, ate, or went to sleep. Days blurred into an endless night. Without the rising and setting of the sun, Siffre's sense of time began to warp dramatically. He would spend hours reading, writing, and conducting geological studies, completely oblivious to the passage of time. He thought only a few hours had passed when, in reality, a full day or more had gone by. His perception of time was entirely subjective, dictated solely by his internal state. The team on the surface, however, was meticulously logging his calls. They charted his cycles of sleep and wakefulness, and a strange pattern began to emerge. Siffre was not living on a 24-hour day. His internal body clock seemed to have a mind of its own. On average, his personal day lasted about 24 hours and 30 minutes. He was living a slightly longer day than everyone else on the planet, all while being completely unaware of it. After what Siffre believed to be about 35 days, he started to feel the immense strain of isolation. The constant cold, the crushing solitude, and the unending darkness took a heavy toll on his mental state. But he persevered, driven by scientific curiosity. When his support team finally called down to tell him the experiment was over, he was in disbelief. He was convinced it was only August 20th. The actual date was September 14th. He had been in the cave for a full 59 days, yet his internal perception of time was off by nearly a month. He had lived 2 months underground, but had only experienced about 58 of his own, slightly longer days. The results were groundbreaking. Siffre had provided the first real evidence that the human body possesses an internal biological clock that operates independently of external cues. This internal clock wasn't perfectly aligned with our planet's 24-hour cycle. Instead, it naturally drifted to a cycle of approximately 24.5 to 25 hours. The sun, it seemed, acts as a daily reset button, synchronizing our internal rhythm with the outside world. But Siffre wasn't finished. 10 years later, in 1972, he decided to push the limits even further. This time, he descended into Midnight Cave in Texas for a 6-month expedition. Funded by NASA, who were interested in how astronauts would cope with long-duration space missions, this experiment was even more grueling. At 40 years old, the prolonged isolation was much harder on him. The environment was stable, but the psychological pressure was immense. He experienced profound loneliness and moments of deep despair. At one point, the solitude became so overwhelming that he contemplated ending the experiment prematurely, a thought he fought against with all his might. During this 6-month ordeal, his internal clock did something even more bizarre. For a significant period, his sleep-wake cycle stretched out to an incredible 48 hours. He would stay awake for 36 hours straight, followed by a 12-hour period of sleep. He was living 2 of our days as if they were one long one, yet he remained completely oblivious to this dramatic shift. To him, it all felt like a normal day. His mind had adapted to this new, extended rhythm without his conscious knowledge. This discovery was staggering. It suggested that our internal clock wasn't just a single, rigid mechanism. It could be flexible, adapting, and stretching in response to the complete absence of external timekeepers. The 48-hour cycle showed that our circadian rhythm could be more complex than anyone had previously imagined. Perhaps even having multiple gears, it could shift into under extreme conditions. When he finally emerged from Midnight Cave after 205 days, he looked much older and was visibly shaken. The experiment had taken a significant physical and psychological toll, but the scientific data was invaluable. Siffre's work, along with similar experiments by other researchers like Jürgen Askhoff in Germany, laid the foundation for the entire field of chronobiology, the study of biological rhythms. These deep time isolation experiments proved that we are all governed by an internal pacemaker, a master clock located in a tiny region of our brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. This clock dictates our cycles of sleep, hormone release, body temperature, and even our cognitive performance. It's the reason we feel jet lag when we travel across time zones. Our internal clock is still running on our home time, and it takes several days for sunlight and other cues to reset it to the new local time. The implications of Siffre's findings are vast. They help us understand sleep disorders, the challenges of shift work, and the health effects of living in environments with artificial light that disrupt our natural connection to the day-night cycle. His lonely vigils in the dark depths of the earth revealed a fundamental truth about our biology. We are creatures of rhythm, finely tuned to a cosmic dance we are often unaware of, with an internal clock that stubbornly ticks to its own, slightly different beat. Michel Siffre sacrificed his comfort and his sense of time to give humanity a deeper understanding of itself. He ventured into a timeless void and brought back knowledge that illuminates the hidden workings of our own bodies. His story is a powerful reminder that even in the most profound isolation, our bodies carry an ancient internal rhythm. A clock that has been ticking for millennia, waiting for the light of day to set it right. Did you find this journey into timelessness as fascinating as I did? For more stories that explore the hidden corners of science and the human experience, be sure to subscribe to my channel, Curiosity Repo. You won't want to miss what we uncover next.